Nau mai te whānau, nau mai ki tō tātou wānanga i tēnei pō mo te kaupapa NFT. Mihi ana ki tō tātou manuhiri i te pōnei, kia koe te tuakana e Riapo, mihi kau ana kia koe, tēnā koe bro.
Tēnā koe, my brother. Thank you for having me here, bro. I appreciate it, bro. It's yeah, I've been pumped for this all day, bro. So looking forward to this kōrero, brother.
Yeah, me too, bro. And yeah, so we've been looking at this kaupapa of NFT over the last few wānanga, and the wider crypto space, and also how we as Māori, as Islanders as well, how we interface with this new emerging world. So yeah, bro, and you and I have had little wānanga here and there, and we've been seeing what each other have been doing, and I'm amped as to be able to collaborate with you, bro. And it's been cool watching the different kaupapa that you've been rolling as well, especially the eager beavers building the dam right now as we speak.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, cause it's been exciting, bro. And I guess before you launch the Discords, you kind of don't know how it's gonna go, bro. You know, when we launched last Monday, I was like, you know, I did a bit of a karakia, and I was like, look, God, universe, if 50 people show up, I'll be, you know, stoked with that. A whole bunch more showed up, bro, and they've continued to keep showing up. So, yeah, bro, it's one of those kind of learn as you go kind of things, bro? Because you can't anticipate, you know, if people are going to be there or not. So, yeah.
And it was the same with this, bro. I was just like, man, this is a space I'm really interested in. This is a kaupapa that I know is new to a lot of us. So how can we kind of, you know, share some experience, share some mātauranga so we can all kind of rise in there together. So yeah, it's a real privilege to be able to be yarning with you and the others that have been on so far. We'll keep those kōrero going. So I don't think there's anyone that doesn't know who this bro is, but just in case, fella can sing a bit, he can play a guitar, he can tour around the world. Yeah, and Aotearoa, but the bro is you know, Te Teihonga Paumatua or Sons of Zion. One of the summer soundtracks that's just been keeping us in the good vibes for years. So I really want to mihi to you for that, bro. Last time we were on the mish together, we were chilling with the sharks and the stingrays over in Tahiti, and going to those wahi tupuna as well, which was pretty mean. And it's been awesome, bro, over the couple of years, just watching the way that you're interacting with this blockchain world, and also the things that you choose to share and the advice that you choose to give, you know. And even sometimes it's just little hints, say, just like, come on people, have a look at this, you know, like, and you know, these are ways that we can help our people really get that sort of wealth, intergenerational wealth going forward, because I feel like wealth and those sorts of things are generally not a conversation that we have in our whānau Māori. Whānau Pākehā have those conversations all the time. So just kind of normalizing that kōrero and normalizing like seeing each other pumping and just being like, yeah, bro, pumping, cracking. So, bro, can you share a bit of a story about yourself, about, you know, your journey through Te Aopuoro, into crypto and into NFTs, like to get us where we are now? Just your story, bro.
Yeah, bro. So I'm a Rotorua boy, bro, through and through, born and raised, a Te Aroha boy. And then I moved to Tamaki when I was 13. My dad got moved with his mahi, so we moved up there as a whānau. And then I met the two other bros that I started Sons of Zion with, which was my bro Sam and my other bro Joel. And so, yeah, we kicked off the band and did the music thing, and done some albums and done some really choice stuff, bro, and toured the world and
done some albums. How many albums are you up to now?
We've done 3, bro. Three albums.
Good.
And yeah, bro, got to tour the world like you were saying, bro, and caught up with you in Tahiti and swimming with sharks and a whole bunch of awesome stuff, bro. And then, like everyone else, COVID sort of hit, and as a band, bro, we needed physical numbers to keep, I guess, feeding our families, bro, because that's what we do, play for people. And when that opportunity got taken away, I started thinking deeply about, you know, how long this thing's going to last and what I'm going to do to continue to feed my daughter and for the other bros to be able to feed their kids.
And so was this in the first lockdown?
Yeah, bro. So
this impacted quite quickly, eh?
Quite quickly, brother. And I had actually heard of Bitcoin at the time, you know, back in like 2014, 2015, but it was kind of just going over my head, bro.
I'm pissed off. I was the same, bro. My brother was talking to me about it back then, and I'm just like, oh man, I was just like, it was just too hard basket for me back then.
Yeah, 100%, bro. And you're so right, bro. I couldn't. No one explained it to me in a way that I could understand.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what ended up happening, bro, is I was over in Australia, spending time with my daughter because she lives in Brisbane,
yeah,
and one of my good bros, Kiropa, he was over there, and he was already heavy in the crypto space, and he explained it to me so easily, bro. And so what he said to me was, because if I've got a bucket with with 10 oranges in it, and you own one of the oranges, how much do you own? And I said, oh yeah, 10% of the oranges. And he was
yeah.
like, yep. So what if I pour 10 more oranges in? How much percent do you own now? And I was like, oh, 5%. And he was like, bro, that's exactly what's happening with the current bank system. It keeps getting diluted and diluted the more money that's being printed.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
for me, bro, that was just like, that's not a hard concept to understand.
Nah. And that's
That
inflation, eh? That's inflation. When they're printing more money, they're devaluing the value of what we have. Your orange is now only,
That's right,
5%.
bro. Yeah, I
Yeah,
basically halved like inflation, bro. My buying capacity was halved. So that was a really easy thing to understand. And then when he started explaining to me, bro, how Bitcoin had a max supply and that it couldn't be diluted, it was set. And that was kind of the beginning for me, bro. And the awesome thing about my bro is he didn't say, get a wallet, do this and start putting money into it. He put me on to a fellow named Robert Breedlove, bro, who does a podcast called The What Is Money Show. And he said to me, listen to this, bro, and if you grasp it, you'll be into it. And that's what I did, bro. I listened to that series, and so it was
so what
beautiful.
is money, eh?
Yeah,
Can people find it on like Spotify or?
yeah, bro. Yeah, it's on
Yeah,
Spotify, and he's got some awesome guests, bro, like Michael Saylor and Robert Kiyosaki as well, bro. So
yeah,
the thing I loved about what my bro did is he didn't really sell it to me. He explained to me a very simple concept about the oranges, and then he
yeah,
said, "Here's a resource, bro. Go away, and if you grasp it, and if it's for you, then it's for you." And for me, bro, it was for me. So
yeah.
yeah.
And that was the beginning, and like jumping into the space, because it is such a new space even now. Like, what was the learning curve like for you?
Yeah, the learning curve for me, bro, it was definitely that Bitcoin was a deflationary asset, so not inflationary.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
going to
that
be
it was,
worth more later on than it is now, rather than our dollar, which is far. Hey, how much a feed your whānau with of fish and chips used to be like $3, eh?
bro,
Now it's like $30 to buy enough, or $50 to buy enough fish and chips for your whānau.
exactly, bro, exactly. So that was definitely one of the big things, bro, that it was a deflationary asset. The other thing that I loved, bro, was that it was decentralized and it was open source,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
which means that everything is transparent and can be viewed, and it can't be dabbled with, bro. Those were kind of the things that
yeah,
attracted me to it, bro. Yeah.
yeah. No, wicked. And then so that's into crypto. And so you started with Bitcoin. I'm imagining you started to look into altcoins and meme coins and things like that back then, or nah?
A little bit, bro. I very early on decided that I was going to look into, um, I guess, who's behind the coins that I was adopting and the
Yeah,
technology and where they were going. So I started looking at things like XRP, bro,
yeah,
and their goals and what they were trying to do in terms of replacing what we use at the moment, like Swift code.
yeah.
They're trying to be
Western
basically.
digital, like how to shift money, eh? That's their main function.
Yeah, that's right, bro. So I started dabbling. Like I decided that I'm just only going to buy coins that I kind of identify with the kaupapa that they're about.
Yeah,
And then I kind of just, because I'm a big fan of Gary Vee, bro, he was harping on about NFTs. And
yeah.
again, bro, I didn't learn my lesson, bro. That went over my head again. You know.
At that time. So what year was that, bro?
So that would have been like,
2 years ago.
yeah, the end of the. So what are we now? It's all a blur, eh, bro? Of COVID, it must have
Yeah,
been the 2020, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then, but the awesome thing about the space, bro, is it moves rapidly, eh, bro? So
Very
kind of like
rapidly.
the middle of last year, I knew, there's something here in this thing called NFTs.
Yeah,
Um, and the more that I listened to Gary Vee and started looking at things like Bored Ape and, Billionaires Boys Club and that,
yeah,
I identified, I guess, a way that for me and my brothers and sons on that we could continue to share our art and keep creating our art without needing thousands of people to show up for shows
yeah,
because of the restrictions, bro, and the borders and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, because who knows how long it's going to be until we get gigs, eh? Because I'm the same as you, bro. Like, the majority of my mahi, my photography work was all kaupapa. So if the kaupapa aren't happening, then there's no mahi for me, and bro, probably the same as you when the lockdown walls started to come down, you would have just seen all the jobs go poof,
bro.
poof, poof, poof. And that was what it was like for me. Like months in advance, they were just starting to disappear, and it was just like, what am I gonna do? Like how are we gonna navigate this? And
Bro,
then so it's the same sort of thing as you, bro. It was the same reasoning. It was like, oh man, I need to start looking into this space because
yeah,
necessity, eh?
necessity, bro. And it was a scary time, bro, because like you say, the gigs are flying away, and you're like, far out, bros. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna
Yeah.
eat? I think.
Yeah. How are those mortgages going? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, bro. So yeah, initially, bro, when I started first looking into NFTs, I was only looking um, as a way to try and pivot for Sons is On and how we could utilize the space.
Yeah.
But what I
And so
quickly,
talk us through that a little bit more before we like start moving into the other ones.
yeah,
Like NFTs is going to be a game changer for musicians, eh?
yeah, that hundred
Tell us a
one,
little bit more about that, bro. Because I'm
yeah,
sure there's heaps of musicians that'll be listening to this and that'll be catching up over time. I really think this is a pivotal moment for the music industry, eh?
yeah, it is, bro. It definitely is, and I think the awesome thing about NFTs, bro, is that it connects the artist, whether that be music or painting or like for yourself, bro, photography,
Yeah.
and the lover or the supporter of that art. It puts them right next to each other. So
Yeah.
everyone in between, like the labels and everyone who's trying to take a cut of the pie, you can, see you later and be
Yeah.
right there with the people who actually appreciate your art. And the
Yeah.
artist is getting the credit and what they deserve because it's their art, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Like,
so
because the traditional, music contract would have been, you're with a label, and then you make this much, and then the label takes this much, and then the promoter takes this much, and then da da da, and then you guys as the artist, like people think, hey, it's this, extravagant lifestyle and stuff like that, but actually, you guys work really, really hard, eh?
really, really hard, bro. And sometimes, well, not sometimes, most of the time, you get paid last because
Yeah.
you go into a tour, bro, and the fencing gets paid, and the portaloos and the marquees and the people who set up the stage, and everyone gets paid, and then you're left with whatever's left. And that's not to
Yeah.
say that those people aren't due their money, but the thing that I liked about NFT, bro, is that it kind of brings the power back to the artist and cuts
Yeah.
out a lot of people who are probably, bro, and this is just being honest from my heart, probably unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And people
just
just accepted that was the way it was because that's the way it was.
yeah,
Not necessarily that it has to continue like that, eh?
that's right, bro. Yeah, so that's really was my thinking, bro, in terms of the opportunity for musicians in the NFT space, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a game changer, and the other thing too that is awesome is that you can share your royalties or you can share whatever part of your art you want to with people, and
Yeah.
because it's the blockchain technology, it's open and transparent, bro, so they can see that they're getting their dues and what's coming to their wallet is what you said it's going to be, and it's all done through smart contract again, so it
Yeah.
can't be tutored with. It's just automatic, which is beautiful, bro.
Yeah. So how does that smart contract work when you're doing that sort of stuff?
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways you can do it, bro. You can do it, yeah, through a smart contract, and the songs that you make actually live on the blockchain,
Yeah.
or you can do it in another way where it's a claimable thing where people who have purchased an NFT for your royalties, they can come into a verified space in your Discord, say,
Yeah.
click, claim my royalties, and then it takes them to a
Kind
separate
of like some of the airdrops that
yeah,
some of
bro.
the tokens are doing. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah. And all you have to do, bro, is let them know that they can refer to the ledger on the blockchain if they want to see that it's all correct. And, well, yeah, you
Yeah.
can't lie, bro. You
Yeah. Yeah.
can't lie with blockchain. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's pretty cool. And then how about like I know I've heard Gary Vee talking about how you can like upfront fund an album, say, or
yeah,
recording a video and stuff like that. Can you talk our whānau through that?
yeah, bro. So like for instance, for Sun Design, we could say, hey, we want to do this album this year, and we think it's going to cost $100,000. So we're going to put out 1,000 NFTs for $100, and we'll
Yeah.
go 50-50 with we'll take 50% as a band, and the other 50% will be dispersed between those 1,000 people for the rest of the time.
Yeah,
And
because
so,
that 50% is still more than you would have got after management. That not management, but you know the
Yeah.
record label and stuff like that, eh?
yeah, bro. Yeah, I can tell you now, bro, that there'd be very few people on a record label that are getting more than 30% of their money.
Yeah.
So if you look at it that way, bro, even 50% is a win. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And then if 50% is going back to your community, to your fans, to all the people that are, you know, pumping your music. And that was something that really stuck out for me with Gary, is that he was saying, you know, so if your fans are getting 50% of your you know, your takings and stuff, that gives them even more reason to go out and pump your music, to be able to like talk to their mates, bro, listen to this band, da da da. Because basically the more up there your fella's band gets, the more up there, the more profit that they're gonna get, eh?
That's it, bro. So there ends up being like a shared interest in the kaupapa, in the album. It's
Yeah.
in everyone's best interest for all, I guess in some ways, bro, you could say shareholders of that album.
Yeah.
We wanted to
Because
do
that's what
well.
it's like, eh? It's they're putting in the initial capital
Yeah.
to make your album,
Yeah.
and the best thing, like you're saying, it's the people that actually love and like support you. They're
Yeah.
the ones who are actually financially supporting you, and then they're also the ones that are making the gain.
That's right, bro. Yeah, and so for those 1,000 people, bro, it might cost them $100 for that NFT,
Yeah,
and they might get, I don't know, $45 every 6 months, but
yeah,
that's forever, bro.
yeah,
If,
yeah,
if you set the smart contract that way, or you can set it for 20 years or whatever.
yeah.
But even over 20 years, bro, you know you're gonna
It's
20x.
only yeah, because it's only taken 3 months for them to get their money back.
That's right,
Hey,
bro. Yeah, yeah,
that's huge, bro.
yeah. So
And
yeah, that's a game
those
changer, bro.
conversations between you and the boys, like how did that go?
Yeah, I think initially, bro, I was very bullish in the space. So I was like, brothers, hear me out, because it's a new.
Yeah. They were like, I don't really get
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah, because it all sounds a bit like rainbows and butterflies, eh, bro? When
yeah, bro. Yeah,
so, but not the more that we had Wānanga, bro, the more we discussed it, the more. I think the thing for me, bro, as someone who was starting the project with Kiriopa, that bro who got me into crypto, and my other close friend Tim,
yeah,
was that I felt like we had to go and do our due diligence, do our research,
yeah,
actually look into blockchains, look into how it works, so that when I, talk to the boys, I was talking from,
a
10,000
good
hours.
solid base. Yeah, that whole 10th, bro. Since I started looking at this, it's been like late nights, early mornings,
Bro.
especially, like looking at timings for gas prices and all those sorts of things. It's just like, man, you really got to research, and you really got to find, good places to research. And that's kind of some of my thinking behind our Discord, Te Mona Nui Crypto Navigators, is that this is a space, each NFT kaupapa, they got their Discords and stuff, and and that's about building the community around that product or that token or that NFT. But this one here, I just wanted to create a space where all of us from all of the different projects can share that mātauranga, can go, this is where I can learn about a wallet. Like I've even shared some of those videos that you've put up for Eager Beavers,
Yeah,
how to make a MetaMask. Now I'm sharing that with other bros
yeah,
across different kaupapa, and it's mean, bro. It's a mean learning space, eh?
yeah. And the awesome thing too, bro, is that I try and for the bros, the other bros as well that are behind the project, we try and see the world as a place of abundance, bro. Like there's no need
Totally, bro.
to hold information, bro, or knowledge.
Nah, nah.
There's enough out there for all of us,
Yeah,
So it's not like don't share. It's like share,
yeah,
And for us at Eager Beaver, bro, we don't care if we hope that you buy a beaver and want to come along for the ride. But even if you just want to drop in, take what you need in terms of education and resource, that's a win for us too, bro. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to help change people's lives, bro, whether they buy a beaver or not. So yeah,
yeah. And even I guess after the initial sale of the Beaver NFTs, once they're all sold out, people can still stay part of the Discord, eh?
that's right, bro. They can stay part of the Discord. And I guess the Beaver, bro, part that people will be investing in is they're investing in the roadmap part of things, bro, where there's
Yeah,
utility. But in terms of education, bro, I really don't see why we shouldn't continue to educate, why we shouldn't continue to share.
Yeah.
Because it's not hurting anyone, bro. It's only helping
Nah.
people.
Yeah, well, and my kind of thinking behind it, bro, is that, you know, the space is new and early adopters get, you know, early bird gets the worm. Early adopters, if we bought Bitcoin when our mates were telling us about it back then, you know, we would be rolling. We would be really, really happy. So I kind of want our whānau to be able to get in now, because NFTs, yeah, it's been going for how many months or years, a couple of years, but it's still so new in the world.
It
And you
is.
know it's new because it's hard to engage with. You know, like the technology is a little bit clunky. It's a bit, you know, it's a bit, you got to find your way. But you know, soon enough, it's going to be easy. The first time internet came out, we were like, how do you put in a dot? You know, like how do you go to a, you know, to a page or whatever? It was
Yeah,
hard to do back then, but now our 4-year-old kids do it without thinking.
bro.
You know,
100%, bro. And
so we're going to get there.
yeah, handy, bro. And to be honest with you, bro, I don't know with, you know, where NFTs now are and the use cases that we're using them for. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily know that this is what they will be in 10 years. You know, like when the
Yeah.
internet came out, I was just typing emails, bro. And that was
Yeah.
amazing. But who would have thought that it would have been gaming online, shopping for clothes? Like that wasn't even imaginable.
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
then.
Had that, and it was like, you know, that thing of shopping, like you were saying, like when if you told people, oh, you'd be able to buy something from South Africa, you know, soon, they'll be like, what? You
Yeah,
know, I just got my ledger from France. You know, like what? But
yeah,
now it's so normal. It's like we don't even think about it, and so I think things like that, like having a wallet, having a hot wallet or a cold wallet. I think at the moment it's something that we have to consciously think about and learn about and da da da. But I think, you know, soon enough it's just going to
yeah.
be natural, just going to be normal, eh?
100%. But I even know from my parents, bro, like they were very cautious when it was like putting your Visa debit into a website to buy things. Now,
Yeah,
bro, like,
you don't even
and I
think
don't
about
think,
it, eh?
yeah, I'm still very cautious with my crypto, but because I'm so
Oh,
used to
totally.
with my Visa debit, it's like stored in my MacBook, bro. You know, and I
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
accept it. 'Cause I don't want to
Stored
keep
in your phone, you just swipe it over things.
exactly, bro. So I
Yeah,
think the more and more we become comfortable with it, and like you said, bro, the technology is still a little bit clunky, but
yeah,
when those are ironed out, I think it'll just be a way of life, bro. And even when we buy whare and real estate and all that,
yeah,
it actually makes sense to do it through smart contract, bro, because no one
yeah,
can doubt. It's actually
yeah,
better.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we just got to get there, cousin. We
Hard
will.
out, hard out. And that's why it's important for us to learn this stuff now. It is
Yeah,
like a whole nother language. Like people in our other Wānanga have been talking about, you know, it's another language. We have to learn another language, and it is another language. But once we learn it, once we're fluent in it, rah, it's going to be easy. And then we'll be the locals, you know, like we'll be the locals in that spot rather than the newbies coming in going, oh shit, now I've got to learn this language. And
yeah,
that's kind of what I want for our people. Eh?
yeah, 100%, bro. And the cool thing that what we're definitely trying to do with Eager Beaver, bro, is I feel like I've always learned best, bro, from people who look, talk, sound, and act
Yeah,
like me,
bro.
and hold the same values as me.
Yeah,
So if we're not doing those in spaces where it's Kiwi and Maori projects,
yeah.
then our whānau are going to go to these American projects and learn from
How
them.
how
And they
many
don't.
YouTube videos have you watched, and how many of them are Maori?
Yeah,
You know,
bro.
none,
That's
or you know, one now. You know, I've been watching our brother Richie's videos.
yeah, yeah,
Richie likes JPEGs. Etefano, if you want to go and check out those videos, the bro breaks down NFTs and looks at how to look at different projects and stuff. But
yeah,
hey, pretty much when we're learning, it's all Americans or European or something like that
yeah,
that are in this space. So
yeah,
why not be us?
yeah, bro. And shout out to the brother Richie, bro. He's on.
Yeah, hard out. Well,
On.
he's the one who kind of got me in the door into actually minting my first NFTs, and so I've got a few up there on OpenSea if you fellas want to go and have a look. But those were me kind of learning the technology because, like you, bro, I'm just like, oh, just got to go in, just got to try it, just got to tutu. Even these blooming podcasts, you know, just playing with the technology. Okay, how do we do this? Oh, I'll make a little picture down the bottom, and
Yeah.
you know, and this is how we learn, bro.
Bro, you're exactly the same as me, bro. The best way for me to learn was to go and make one, bro.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'd just be speculating, bro. You know, I'd be coming from a place of opinion, not a
Yeah.
place of experience, bro. And
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah. And so what was your first one? Is the beavers your first one, or did you have a jam on something else first?
Yeah, so the Beavers is our first public project, bro. But we've definitely been tutoring in the background on test networks, and but
Yeah,
the thing for me, bro, is that I definitely know what I'm good at, and I know, I try and stay to what I know, bro, in my lane.
yeah.
And so I was able to link up with some awesome brothers, bro, who were skilled in the areas that I weren't skilled in, bro, like IT.
That's the
Uh,
one, bro.
yeah,
Team,
like
eh? Teamwork makes the dream work.
teamwork makes the dream work, bro. So I have these big ideas, and then they take them and they scale them to what can actually be done.
Yeah.
Um,
And I
but I
think
guess,
those are roles, bro. Like
mm,
in any team, like for any kaupapa, you need the visionaries who kind of like see out there. You need the people who are good at the actual production, at the actual details. You need the people who are good at the money side, like figuring out budgets. How do we even do this, or getting funding? Like that's important to have those sorts of teams, eh?
bro, it's very important, bro. And there's so many elements with NFTs, bro. I mean, I can only speak to the kind of project that we're doing. Some people don't do Discord and they just go straight to OpenSea or whatever. But
Yeah.
even Discord, bro, it's a beast, bro.
It's a whole thing, eh, bro?
Holy,
I'm lucky. Like, not lucky. It was intentional. Invite people in that know that stuff, and
yeah,
then ask them to, be an admin or help. I remember when I was a young fella, my dad, he learnt. He was playing tennis against this fellow when he was young, coming up. He was playing tennis against this other fella, and this other fella was the man.
mm,
And this other fella said to him, always play with people that are better than you. That's the
yeah,
only way you're going to get better. If you play with people that are worse than you, then you're just going to stay at the same level.
yeah,
So that's my idea with these Wānanga, bro, is to find people that are better than me, that are more experienced than me at
mm,
whatever their thing is in the space. And
yeah,
if we can all have yarns, I'll be learning, and all of our kaimā takitaki will be learning as well.
yeah.
So yeah, bro. And if we're looking at our peers and we walk and talk the same as each other, then bro, what's better than that, eh?
Bro, 100 cars, and bro, I'm still learning, especially all of that back end stuff. And because
Yeah.
sometimes I'll have ideas, bro, and it's not that the bros are like, we can't do that. They're more just like, we can do that, but this is the timeline for it.
Yeah, this is what it would take to
This
do
is what
that.
it would take, and this is what it's going to cost, bro, because nothing's free, bro. Like, to make these beavers, they all got their own DNA and their own sort of like code that is uniquely theirs, bro. you
All
know,
right.
and it's all made out of numbers and hashtags and exclamation. I don't know what it says. I understand what it is, but I can't write code, bro.
Yeah, I get the
So
concept, but
yeah,
I'm never going to be a coder.
nah, bro, nah, nah,
There's not me. Yeah, yeah,
nah. That's not me, bro. So that's been awesome learning for me, bro. Too, just understanding. Yep, mean idea, brother, but this is what it looks like, and this is the reality of it. And if you want to do that, we'll do that. But
yeah,
these are kind of the because you're always analyzing risk, bro.
yeah. Well, especially if you're going in, because you're investing not only pute, you're investing time, you're investing energy, you're investing your networks. If you're pulling other people into the space, how
Yeah,
are you going to look after them? How are they going to look after you? Those sorts of things.
yeah, bro.
How'd you go about? You were thinking, okay, here's the beavers. I mean, I've got this concept.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit, why beavers? Because I did go when I first saw it, I was like, why beavers? They're not
Yeah,
from Aotearoa. Like, what's the deal? Tell us the story, bro. Like,
yeah, bro. So ages ago, this was years ago, bro. I watched this podcast about beavers podcast, sorry, a documentary about beavers on the Discovery Channel,
yeah,
and it was talking about how beavers mahi up, bro, day in day out to chew
yeah,
on trees and collect branches,
yeah,
to make these dams and block these rivers that make these ponds, bro.
yeah,
And once they've done it, every animal in the ecosystem thrives, bro, because of these wetlands that it creates, from the bears to the fish to the birds,
yeah,
the flora and fauna, everything flourishes because of this one or two little beavers, bro.
yeah,
And so I love the work ethic of the beaver for one, but the other thing that I love too, bro, is that he does it for no reason. Like he doesn't get anything for it,
yeah.
you know,
From the other guys,
from the
he
other
might
guys.
get some mates, eh?
Yeah,
Hey, or maybe he likes watching the bears fishing for salmon in there. Yeah,
yeah, bro. Yeah, but it's in his nature to do it for the betterment of the people, or
yeah,
of the pa, if you want to look at it that way, bro.
yeah.
So
That's cool, bro. That's real
that's what I
cool.
picked it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
bro. And the beaver, I just got an infinity with it, bro. And I was like, wow, beavers are on and they're underrated,
yeah,
you know, because
yeah,
everyone wants to be a lion or a mean gorilla or whatever, T Rex.
yeah,
No one thinks the beaver. So I was just like, I love what he's about, or he or
yeah,
she's about.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's cool as. And so Yeah, why did you end up going into a PFP? Yeah, profile pic. Like, there's different ways to do NFTs, eh? So there's like profile pic, which will be the apes, um, the crypto punks, all that sort of stuff. Those profile pics,
Yeah.
and they're pumping at the moment. But
Mm.
like our mate Gary V said, most 90% of these sorts of PFP projects will be gone in a little while.
Yeah.
So kind of like get in, learn about it, and then make your money where you can on that trading side.
Yeah.
But then so there's those there's photos, kind of one-on-one, which is what I'll get into, photography or
Yeah.
other artists selling art, but that's not necessarily a profile pic like what Mr. G's doing. So Mr. G's drop Pawpaw. If you guys if you guys are keen, definitely check him out. So he'll be dropping. Just check out his social medias.
Mm.
So there's those sorts of different ways of doing it, and then you're talking about utility, eh? But
Yeah.
so why did you go for a PFP?
Yeah, I think the reason that we went with the PFP, bro, is because we knew we wanted to build a community, bro.
Yeah,
We wanted to build a whānau, I guess, bro. And so by using an animal that represents what our kaupapa was about,
yeah,
everyone could have a unique animal, like unique, but the same, if that makes
yeah,
sense. Like
yeah,
all beavers, but their own beaver.
yeah,
So that's why we went with that, bro. And you're right, bro. Like Gary V said, a lot of projects won't survive, bro. And for us, we try to write our roadmap in a way where there's future aspiration, but it's
yeah,
not like pie in the sky fluffy stuff. There's
yeah.
real,
We're gonna
things.
give you all Lambos.
Yeah, yeah, or whatever. Yeah, exactly, bro. What those things might be. So, like giving away our royalties,
Yeah,
um, like bringing through up and coming artists, and making sure that if the community is going to put this artist on, then the community should receive, royalties because the community put them on.
yeah,
Uh, like doing a real life festival, bro, where the public ticket sales outside of the beavers can be distributed back to the beavers through royalties.
yeah,
And I think the cool thing is, bro, is that because this is stuff that we do all the time and because we play festivals all the time, it's
yeah,
actually not out of our scope to be able to pull those kinds of things off.
yeah.
If I
So
was
you've
like,
done this. You've
yeah,
done this heaps of times. If you're a house painter, you're not going to put on festivals, but it makes sense
no,
that you guys, this is
yeah,
your world. No
this is,
kutu tēnei ao. You know how everything you works. You even know the breakdown, the dollar breakdown of how much
yeah,
stuff is. So you should know. Oh yeah, if we did this, if we had this many people there, our beavers will be able to get this much percentage
yeah, exactly,
each or
bro. Yeah,
whatever. Eh?
hard, bro. And all the relationships are there and that kind of thing, bro. So it's definitely not out of our scope. Um,
Yeah,
and the reason that there's one of the phases in phase 5, bro, where we talk about growing the ecosystem,
yeah,
and that's about bringing in new bands, bro, and bands that want to adopt the space. So there's a real opportunity for growth there. And from someone who's built, I guess, a project,
yeah,
I know how hard it is, bro. So the awesome thing is that we can, I can say to my other band, artist friends, because if you want to jump on this, the
yeah,
platform, the
yeah.
mahi,
The tuapapa is there. Yeah,
that's it, and it's yours to use, bro. If you want to, or kids pie, bro, go and do your own thing.
yeah,
That's right too. All
yeah.
good.
But the offer's there, eh?
The offer's there, bro.
Just like a beaver, you've made the place. You can either come and hang out in this dam in this pond, or you can go somewhere else. All good.
Yeah, yeah,
But
bro.
the
And
offer's there.
that's it, bro. And so we've written the roadmap in a way too, bro, that the 2,500 beavers will resource the things that we want to do. So even if not one more band came on, it doesn't affect the project in terms of what we're saying we're going to deliver. It's resourced within the amount of NFTs that there are, bro. So, uh,
So you've
yeah,
done some number crunching then, bro.
done some number
Like
crunching,
there's
bro.
some maths to do there to go. Okay, so these aspirations that we want to do, how do we do those? How much is it going to cost per beaver?
Yeah,
And these are the things that for me, as soon as I knew you were doing something, bro, I was like, okay, this has got integrity. This
mm,
has got good values. This isn't going to be a rug pull. And that's something that you really need to research when you're looking at different projects, NFT projects. You really need to research and go. Not just because one of your mates is on it, they're like, yeah, this is going to go to the moon.
yeah,
It doesn't mean go and spend your hard-earned cash on
yeah,
something. You need to look into it. You need to go, well, what's behind it? So when you're building a project like this, bro, what are the
mm,
values? What are you thinking about? What are you putting behind it?
yeah. one of the first things that we did, bro, as a team is we sat down and we had a whiteboard, bro, and we wrote in the middle of the whiteboard fabric. And we wanted to have a definitive fabric, bro, that represented all the values that we live by as dads, bro. So we're all fathers, all my bros that are yeah, so we're all dads, bro. So I mean, off the bat, bro, that's a great place to start, eh? Because once you're a dad, bro, and once you're responsible for a little human,
it's not all about you anymore, eh?
That's right, cuz. So we had things on there, bro, like integrity, empathy, kindness, in terms of how we conduct ourselves, bro. Even in our Discord, bro, I can definitely see that those traits have flowed down into our Discord. Like if you come into our Discord, bro, and you say morena in the morning, people are morena, bro, like uplifting.
Yeah, and that's something that you guys intentionally set, eh?
Yeah, intentionally set, bro. Came out with the intention of doing. So yeah, bro. When you're approaching a project, or even in my life in general, bro, I try and be very intentional about who I'm going to be for the year. You know what my goals are, but more importantly, who I'm going to be, bro. That's going to arrive me at those goals. If that makes sense, guys.
Yeah, expand on that a little bit, bro.
Yeah, so I literally write down who I want to be, bro.
Yeah.
Or not who I want to be. I just say that I am those.
But qualities, yeah. This is the man I'm going to be. This is the Riapo I'm going to be.
Yeah, I am a great father. I show up. I mahi up. Just they don't have to be big spiels, bro.
Yeah.
Just 10 bullet points. What it might be. I'm financially savvy. Yeah. I make good decisions for my daughter's future. Yeah, and obviously, those things need to change as you get to be that person. Well, then you need to level up, because evolve.
Yeah, and you got to do the work, to get there, eh?
That's it, bro. And it's a never-ending cycle, eh, bro? You know, of evolving and growing and becoming better. So
yeah. No, I mean, and so those are the values, or those are the ahua that you want to bring into this project. And then, like, what sort of conversations did you guys have at the start? So you were like, okay, I got this beaver concept, and here's the whakapapa of the beaver. This is why we chose the beaver. But how do you go about that? Like, first you had to build a crew, eh? Like, did you build the crew before the concept, or
I had a small crew, bro. My bro Kiriopa, who has been in finance for 17 years, and he was the one. So he used to work for Westpac, bro, in Australia. So he came from the traditional banking system, and he was the one who was like telling me, bro, trust me, I know more than anyone.
This is gonna crash.
Yeah,
this is on its way out, bro.
Yeah, it's rubbish. So I had him, and then I had my other best friend from Rotorua, Tim Wiringi, bro, and he's an electrical engineer. So nothing to do with this space, but a great project manager, bro. Someone who's managed a lot of money and huge projects, bro, and in terms
and trusted,
and trusted, bro, and integrity. So we were a crew to start with, and then the next step, bro, was to get devs, bro, people who can actually code and make this kind of thing.
So where do you find, like, this is something I'm genuinely curious about. Where do you find someone who can code?
Yeah, so I went to a place in Brisbane, bro, first, a blockchain company. And they were, after that first, so I shared the idea with them, and they're like, yep, that's cool. It's going to be, well, in my ears, bro, I was hearing $1 billion pretty much is what they were telling me. And I was like, oh, well, I don't have that.
It cost $1 billion, yeah.
So I was like, I don't have that. So we left that hui a little bit deflated, bro, to be honest, because when you don't have anything to measure it against, you just think, well, that must be what it is. It must be $500,000 or, whatever.
Because those are numbers at the moment that we're just like, what?
Yeah.
$500,000? What does that does that look like?
So then from there, bro, I reached out to a couple of people, bro, that I knew were kind of tattooing in the space. And I was like, what have you done? And they were like, bro, India, Pakistan, and Asia, bro, they have devs on a place that's kind of like Fiverr, if anyone knows what Fiverr is, but it's kind of like a dev space. I think it's called Upwork.
Yeah.
So I jumped in there. I always knew that I wanted a Kiwi crew, a crew from Aotearoa, but I just needed someone to tell me, nah, it's not $1 million.
Yeah.
So I jumped in. So we jumped in a few meetings with some overseas fellas, and they were like, nah, bro, that can be done in like, a couple of months, and not for what they told you.
Yeah.
So then I was like, sweet, well then I know that it can be done.
Yeah.
For not an arm and a leg,
Yeah.
Still
I
a
don't.
still a hefty investment, but not
Yeah.
putting my house on
Well,
the.
they pay peanuts, get monkeys. Like
Right.
if you want to do something properly, you got to invest in the talent. You got to invest in the people that are going to do it for you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right, bro. And
Yeah.
so then we ended up teaming up with our another brother, Dan, who's an awesome IT and coder
Yeah.
person. And he's done all sorts of stuff, bro. And he's actually built his own platform called Real NFT,
Yeah.
and where he can already host music and that kind of thing. So we teed up with him, bro, and he really helped to navigate that space for us, bro. Some of the ideas we had were probably too ambitious for our level with where
Yeah.
we were.
Yeah.
So
Until you build the community to a place where there's those people with those skills inside it, eh?
that's right, bro. So when we first started thinking about Eager Beaver, there was this big thing around doing 10,000. Like everyone was doing 10,000. CryptoPunks was 10,000.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, Bored Ape was 10,000. And so we just thought, okay, well, we're going to need to get 10,000 beavers. So that was initially what we were going to do. And then in my puku, I was like, I actually know I'm not ready to service a whānau of 10,000 people.
It's massive.
That's
Massive.
huge, bro. Like, you know, I've got one daughter, bro, and some days I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, how do I manage this? How do I look after her and keep her satisfied and keep her happy and keep her safe and fed and
Yeah, that's right, bro.
yeah,
That's
bro.
right. So I ended up. We had a hui with the boys, and I was like, bros, I really in my heart think 10,000 is too much. Like that's awesome, and we could
Yeah.
do it. I think
Yeah.
we wouldn't execute well.
Yeah.
We're better going scaling down, keeping to a number that we can manage and provide for, bro, and actually give value to.
Yeah.
Then
And so
yeah,
how'd you come up with the number? Like, because that could be, thousands or that could be hundreds.
yeah, bro, yeah. So the first idea, bro, was we were like, well, it's a new year, because bro, it was 10,000 like at the start of this year. We
Yeah.
only just scaled it back like not that long ago, bro. Because it was actually over the Christmas break that I started having that feeling in my puku that it's too big. I actually know
Yeah.
that.
Shit, that's real
Yeah,
recent.
bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's a new year, and then as a team we were like, it's 2022. Let's do 2022 because it's
Yeah.
the year.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
cool.
And
Yeah.
we feel, are we comfortable with that, brothers?
Yeah.
Can we give value to 2,000 people?
Yeah.
Yep, I reckon we
Easy.
can. I reckon we can do it really, really well.
Yeah.
And that's where that number came from, bro. And the supplies increased now to 2,522 because when we introduced the Discord, all the wahine poor in there
Filled
were
up.
like, yeah, bro. And the girls were like, we want our own beavers. And
Yeah.
so we
Wahine beavers. Yeah.
wahine beavers. And so we put a vote out to the Discord community and said, whānau, if this is something that you want, give us 600 flames and we'll get it done.
Yeah.
And they did. They voted, and
Yeah.
therefore it was their decision.
Yeah.
And for us, bro, it was more work, and it still is more work, bro, because someone's got to go and draw those wahine beaver now.
Yeah. Well, and also like, are you gonna because minting? So can you explain the process of minting
Yeah. So
in this regard, bro?
yeah, minting, for lack of a better word, bro, is buying. That's
Yeah.
probably the easiest way to explain
But
it.
like, so the first time I minted any NFTs was our bro Te Haunui Tuna's graph creams.
Yep.
And so that was a whole new process to me, bro. I was just like, wow, what do we do here? First, you
Yeah.
have to get the actual coin, phantom onto your wallet, and then you have to get it on the right the right network. And then we went to the site. Basically, we put in our wallet address, and then we can mint up to, I can't remember how many it was. But anyway, you can mint a few. When you mint, when you buy them, you say, I'm going to buy 3. But you don't know what they look like. You don't know if you got a rare. You don't know if you got a boring one. You don't know. So how's that going to work in terms of the wahine beavers? Is there going to be a separate mint for those? So our sisters can go in there and go, yep, I'm going to get a wahine beaver?
Yeah, that's right, bro. So we did do it that way, bro. And the reason that we did is because if we jumbled them up into the original 2022, you basically
wouldn't.
No,
Yeah, lucky dip.
Yeah, you could get a wahine beaver, which is fine. But for our girls who really wanted them,
Yeah,
there's only a 1 in 5 chance that they get a wahine.
yeah.
So
Cool.
by minting it separately, that means that they know kapai, if I'm on the whitelist for the female ones,
Yeah.
then I can just let the first one run because I'm not interested in that. That's for the bros.
Yeah.
If they are, they can jump in there. But if
Yeah.
not, then there's an amount set aside just for them, and they'll definitely get one or two, whichever they pick. To mint.
Choice. That's
Why-
cool, bro. And that's
Yeah.
cool that the karanga came from, the wahine inside the Discord. Then
Mm.
the decision was made by the community, and that's the kind of community you're trying to build, bro?
Yeah, that's it, bro. Yeah, a community that's community driven, bro. Where they make the decisions. Obviously, we'd always try and offer advice, or if we know, like if the community said, "All right, this festival that we're doing, let's have it in Tahiti," I'd be like, "Well, we can, but then everyone's only getting $4 each with the royalties because the
Yeah,
cost
yeah,
of doing that are just
Yeah.
gonna go." So
yeah. And
obviously,
also, how are you all going to get to Tahiti? And we can't even leave the country. So what's the go?
yeah. So obviously, with guidance from us, bro. But ultimately, I think um, I think it's a really cool relationship, bro. Because if we're saying we reckon this whānau, and they're like, "Yep," or "No," they'll know that for all of us to win, it actually makes sense for all of us to make a good decision.
Yeah.
Because if the festival does well, we all do well because we're all shareholders of that festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. And
Yeah.
so when you're talking about, looking after a Discord, so part of this kōrero, like I said in the blurb, this isn't a shilling session. We're not like, I mean, I am out here promoting eager beavers, but it's not just, hey, here's an infomercial. No, it's actually looking into what do you think about when you're building a project? How do you manage working with all the people in your Discord? How do you make the decisions? Those sorts of things. So that, like, with the idea that in time, some of our other whānau are going to make projects and they can start thinking about these things as well.
Yeah.
Kind of like behind the scenes, so we can understand. Oh, this is the path that Riapo and the boys took. This is the path I could take, or I could take a different one. But at least we're conscious of these things,
Yeah, that's right, bro. Just speaking from my heart, bro, and being honest, I think we were probably we should have expected more people as fast as they came.
Yeah.
Like I was saying to you off camera, bro, I was like, "Oh man, if 50 people show up," because I just didn't know.
I'll be
bro.
happy. Yeah.
I'd be happy, bro. And then when there was 1,000 of them there the first day, I was like, "Holy," but
Yeah.
at the same time, we had already discussed as a team that we're in it for the long haul, and if 5,000 shot, well, we'll just do what we have to do, keep putting
Yeah.
one in front of the nine.
And they can wait for the next drop,
And they can wait for the next drop, bro. That's right. So
and that'll keep the community growing and things like that.
yeah. So in terms of thinking forward, I think it's just being prepared as a team. Prepared for whoever shows up on your doorstep, and that's the thing with Discord, bro. It's literally a doorstep for anybody. If you got the address, they can be there.
Yeah, they can get in.
Yeah, and just having some very clear guidelines around who you are and what you're about, and then that can always navigate and steer you. Yeah.
And tell us, like, in this case, there's you and your sons bros, and then our other bro Kings.
Yep.
Rolled in, like, and then now Stan as well. He's part of the kaupapa. So how did you work that out? How did you come across, or how did they join the kaupapa?
Yeah, bro. So I obviously they're good bros, and I knew that the bros were hurting like me in terms of gigs, hurting in terms of our industry and where to from here, and the bros are dads too, and that's kind of the theme of our thing, bro. We're all fathers.
Yeah.
So talking to the bros it wasn't even really a sell or anything, bro. It was just this is the space. This is what we're doing.
What we're up to.
Here's what we're up to. Here's where I think the opportunities are for our industry. And I'm not just talking opportunities financially. I'm talking like opportunities to be close to our fans. So the awesome thing is now, bro, when we go to do our next album, we'll actually be able to refer to these 2,500 beavers and be like, "All right, whānau, we jumped in the studio today. Here's these 3 demos. Be honest. Should we pursue these songs?
Yeah. This one's dumb. This one's mean." Yeah.
And we've never had that opportunity before, bro. We just put out music that we think's cool, and sometimes they fly and sometimes they tank. But I guess it's a way to get some feedback, bro.
Yeah, which is pretty cool as an artist, like, to be able to do that. And
Yeah.
then so you know that when you do drop the album, all the fans are already there with you. You know, like at least your core crew is already there with you and ready to go. And the
Yeah.
other thing, like that, I know in Aotearoa, the fame gap is a whole lot closer.
Mm.
And if you lived in America, you could pretty much expect to never meet Kanye or never meet Beyonce. You
Yeah.
may have a chance, but you can pretty much expect that you wouldn't ever. But
Mm.
here in Aotearoa, like all of our bros,
Yeah.
like our circles are small, and so we know everyone. But
Mm.
also some of your fans, like I've had other mates in the Discord be like, "Oh, Eager Beavers, oh, it's the bros, da da da," and I'm like, "Bro, just send him a message. He's a normal dude. He'll say hello to you, bro."
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So you can get that one-to-one connection, with the fans that you probably wouldn't get in any other sort of sphere, eh?
Yeah, 100, bro. And I think in terms of integrity of the project too, bro, like with what you're talking about, um, in terms of rug pulling, bro, like if I pulled the rug,
You
you can,
can't.
yeah, well, you can find me at the Kotu Dairy most mornings, bro. Like, you just give me a
Yeah,
rug. You know what I mean? 'Cause so,
yeah. And
uh,
also there's your rep as a musician, there's your reps as a band,
bro,
um
it'd be
and that's part of what you look at when you're looking at a kaupapa, at a project. You do look for a docs team, and a docs team is just a team that is revealed, that you
yeah,
know who they are, that they've got a history of doing this and this.
yeah,
And with you guys, like with you, with Kings, with Stan, like we all know you guys, and so if it was a rug pull, like it'd be pretty impossible for you guys to do, because if it was a rug pull, then the whole of Aotearoa will be after you, eh?
bro. We'd have to move to Poland or something.
Yeah, yeah. And that
Yeah,
and that yeah, no, that's a cool way to keep that integrity. But it's kind of like, well, as soon as I knew you were involved, I was like, oh well, this has got integrity anyway. But
true.
it's kind of that thing that can make people feel a bit safer, that and if it did tank, it's not going to, but if it did, we will know that you did your absolute best, you know, to
Yeah.
make it fly, to make it really crank. And I think with the community that you're building, with your guys' experience and your team,
Mm.
it's only gonna fly, It's only
Yeah.
gonna fly.
Yeah, I truly hope so, bro. And like I was saying, bro, with the roadmap, we haven't. There's nothing in there that's like, what, like if
Yeah.
I put on a roadmap, bro, we're gonna build a space rocket. Everyone would be like, "What?"
What?
You know.
Yeah,
But I feel
yeah,
like the things that we've put in there make sense for who we are as a team and what we can deliver.
absolutely. And you can imagine now, even some of the people in your Discord will be, budding artists, or, like ones that want to. And
Yeah.
imagine for them the chance to be mentored by you guys, by Kings, by Stan,
Mm.
and then help through the studio, because, you've got all the things to be able to make those roadmap things happen. That's what I really like about it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, they can make this happen. You have
Yeah.
a recording studio, you have the experience amongst all of you guys, depending on what genre these artists coming up might be, you can
Mm.
actually make that happen.
Yeah.
And then with a already built fan base, because these guys chose the artist,
Mm.
man, that can really like set someone off, eh?
Bro, the awesome thing is, bro, is we can really change someone's life, bro, through this project.
Yeah,
And once that person's life does change, that's something for all 2,500 of us to be proud of, bro.
yeah.
Hey,
And that's only the first. Like that's the way I see it, eh?
yeah,
Like this roadmap, yep, we can see that you'll be launching the first one, but then once you've launched the first one, what's to say you can't launch another band or another group? And at the next mint of the next collection, that's another $10,000 for another kura,
bro,
to get musical instruments, or those sorts of things. Like that's mean, bro. That's mean.
bro, that's right, bro. And it's like you say, bro. It can be templated to continue doing. You know,
Yeah,
we can do a year. It can be an annual festival, and then we can start doing 5 artists a year, because now it won't just be me, Kings, and Stan. There'll be 4 other bands on there who have their own knowledge, their own studios, their own way of doing things, their own writing style.
yeah,
You know,
in their own time. Like at the moment, you guys are trying to service this whole community, but
mm,
as the community grows, that's going to be like impossible to spend time with everyone. So as the artists grow as well, that'll be mean.
yeah, exactly, bro. And because they're going to be bringing new animals into the space,
Yeah,
it will be their job to service the eagles or the bears or
yeah,
whatever the new artist animal chooses to be.
Yeah.
And then we can obviously collectively meet in the middle for certain AMA and Wānanga and that kind of thing. But,
Yep.
you know, people who acquire these new NFTs will obviously be super fans of that particular band, or maybe they're just beavers who want to collect the entire collection. Well, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Yeah, which is cool as well, because then they'd be getting royalties off this band, off that, you know, singer, off that rapper.
That's-
Yeah, it's
yeah.
cool. What are some of the biggest like challenges that you've come across in this space, bro? Because it's not easy. I know you're grinding, bro.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge, bro, is not having a lot of people to draw knowledge from locally, bro.
Yeah, everyone's
A lot of,
overseas because it's so new here, eh?
yeah, bro, yeah, and just having, you know, I'm sure next year there'll be 50 projects, and then everyone
Yeah.
can chat together and be like, man, what are you doing? You know, there'll be,
Yeah.
But that's kind of why we ended up reaching out to those overseas devs, because we couldn't find anyone, or the people. Actually, we did talk to a couple of devs here in New Zealand, and they were reluctant. They were just like, "Oh, I've looked at it, but I don't really know Solidity or Rust, and those are the two languages for
The languages that you need to
Solana."
know. Yeah.
Yeah, so they all do JavaScript and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, I kind of know, but I'm not willing to put your project on the line for, you know."
Yeah, for maybe. Now, this is something that for any of our taitamariki, any of our rangatahi that may watch this, if this is something that you're into, like you will be in a good place if you learn how to code.
Yeah.
Learn how to code those languages, you are going to be sought after. And like me as a Māori photographer working with kaupapa Māori, I'd way rather work with a kaupapa Māori than any others, and I want to work with other Māori in this space. You know, there are going to be more and more projects, and we're going to be looking for Māori or Pacifica developers,
Yeah.
because we understand our space, we understand our concepts, our cultural framework, our basis, and that's a real big point of difference. So definitely, if anyone's thinking of that sort of, you know, learning that sort of stuff, then definitely go out and get it. You will get jobs, and you
Yeah.
will be able to work on awesome kaupapa like this. You know, you'll be able to work with people like Riapo and Kings and Stan and whoever else is making these sorts of projects. And
Yeah.
our bro Fayumu Matthew Salapu as well. He is
That's
the man.
cool.
Shapa
Yeah. Yeah, that, bro. Honestly, cuz that would have been the biggest challenge, bro.
Yeah.
Is finding and because there's no pathway at the moment, bro. So we're very much
Nah.
just paddling out there. You know,
Yeah.
no, not paddling out there. That sounds bad, but you know what I mean, bro. There's not a laid path.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, I still feel like in a lot of ways our education system is teaching us for yesterday,
Yeah.
rather than teaching us for tomorrow. What's coming. So I think that's a really big thing for any of our educators that may be watching. Like this is something that is going to be like, these are languages of the future. Learning Rust, learning Solidity, you know, all of those other reo, like that is a language that is going to be used in the future. And so if our kids can be prepped with that, then we'll have people to work with, and we can get our younger Kizzy, you come and be the developer on our project.
Bro.
And imagine that, eh? Like a 17-year-old, 18-year-old come roll with the big boys on this big kaupapa, and they're an integral part of that kaupapa. It's not just, they're not just sweeping the floor, they are an integral part of this kaupapa. So yeah, shout out to anyone that's keen on that stuff, and let us know, because we're gonna need you. Start practicing,
100%. Bro. I'd go as far to say as they're the most integral part, bro.
Yeah, well, you can't do it without the code,
bro.
You can't do anything on blockchain without the code,
bro. It's the engine, bro. So you can have the most Mickey car with the meanest body kit and the choicest mags, but it's got no engine, bro, without the code. So yeah,
I'm just changing my battery, bro.
Oh, a couple of bro.
See, if I had a cameraman over here, be able to sort that out. Hey, so if you're thinking about different animals in the ecosystem, how is that going to work, bro?
Yeah, so there's a few artists that are very keen, bro. But I think for us, and I've said this, you know, in our AMA, bro, that I don't want to rush growing, bro. There's no need to rush growing. I want to grow when we know that the new lot of people that enter our space can be looked after properly.
Yeah.
So there's no need to hurry. But yeah, basically what it'll be, bro, is that artist would pick an animal that resonates with them, whatever that animal might be. and then we'd just do the same process, bro. For we'd very much look at how many NFTs their run would be, what kind of utility they're giving away, because they can't be like, oh, we want to do 5,000, but we're only giving like a hoodie each.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's not
Or
fair.
even not even giving. You can buy a hoodie each.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, something like that, bro. So it's got to make sense. So picking that number, and then going away and getting our artist, who is the bro Tamiana Robin, who's an awesome young artist, young bro from Hastings.
Yep.
And our female artist is Leslie Whare. So so they'll go away, bro. Design those, create those alongside the artist, whoever that new artist is. They'll be coded, and they'll be put out for a mint, and then those people will join us in Discord. They'll have their own area as well, I guess, bro, where that utility is unique to them. But there will always be communal things, bro, that are a community thing.
Yeah.
And
so what are you most excited about in this space, bro? Like tiro whānui. Like what's your paitawhiti? What are you really excited about?
Bro, I'm really excited, bro, to set a platform or create a space where people like me, bro, can bring my art and share it with the people who love it, not the people who want something from our art. That would be one thing, bro. Another thing will be to create a space where our whānau, bro, can learn, be educated, and navigate the space safely, bro. That's another big thing. But to be honest, bro, I'm more like, I'm kind of like a process guy, bro. I love the process. So as important as outcomes are, I think sometimes when we attach ourselves to the outcome too much, that's where we can kind of hit depression and those kinds of things, bro, where we don't,
Yeah, and you lose the magic of the process if you're always looking at the paitawhiti. You miss the dolphin that's swimming up next to your waka right now, or you miss the tohora that's there's rolling beside you. It's that sort of thing. So that's
bro.
cool, bro.
Yeah, for me, bro, I get to wake up now and work remotely from my whare, or from my mum and dad's whare, or a cafe. I get to jump online and speak to two of my best friends, bro, all day about something that we love. And
that's awesome, mate.
That's awesome, bro. So the outcome's one thing, but I love that too, bro. So
the process.
I'm already winning, bro, because I get to share love and experiences with my two brothers. So can't beat that, bro.
No, that's awesome. So what would be after that? Like, is it so you've got this Beavers thing that's going to keep going, and if we can get back into gigs again, you'll keep doing that. Is it because you've only got a certain amount of hours in a day, and I'm trying to roll a photography career and doing these kōrero and prepping other podcasts and NFTs and crypto, all of that sort of stuff. Like how long term, how you think you're going to manage this, or like what are you what's your vision for that?
My vision for my life, bro, is I want to work as hard as I can, bro, till I'm 40. And I mean like 80, 90-hour weeks. Not being busy for the hell of it, because
build your dams, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And I want to be, when I'm 40, being able to have the ability to just spend all my time with my family, with my daughter. And if I have any more kids by then, with them. And I feel like if I mahi up now, then I'll be able to do that. And I think what I'd love to do, bro, is possibly have more of an advisory role, bro, with other projects, and trying to tautoko them with the things that I've learned, with the things that I've done, and sort of helping to oversee and just guide those projects, bro. And so I guess that at the moment for me, bro, I'm trying to like earn my badges, bro, earn my stripes, to be able to be that person, bro. So very
have the experience, otherwise you can't. Like you said, you're not just learning it in theory, you're learning it in experience.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and not to tell them what to do, but to just be like, well, cuz when I've done that before, and when I did that, this happened.
And it wasn't that much fun.
And that was a big, oh damn. So yeah, bro. Yeah, I'd really like to uffy and protect some of our whānau when they enter into these spaces, bro, and just bring that experience. As I gather it, bro, as I gather that experience into my kiti. So I've started.
Hard out. Can you think about what are some of the most like fulfilling things that you've learned in this process, Meanwhile, ko te ngā kaiwhakarongo, anyone that's listening, if you've got any questions, just chuck them in the comments now, and we'll think about those. But first, bro, what are some of the richest things? We're talking about the dolphin swimming next to your waka and the whale over there. What are some of the richest kind of lessons that you've had so far in the process?
Yeah, probably the biggest thing that I've learnt, bro, is about myself, bro. Like I've learnt that it's okay to be scared because I've got a measure of fear, bro.
Yeah,
Around
bro. It's a
yeah,
big. There's 2,500 people, bro.
yeah, bro. Yeah, so
Looking at you.
yeah, bro. Me saying, hey, you said you were gonna, and
Yeah,
so, but fear is important too, bro. And there's a place for it because if not, we'd jump off bridges.
yeah,
But there's something inside us that says, hey, that's dangerous. So
yeah,
I've got a good measure of fear, bro. So probably that, bro. Learning a lot about myself in terms of my capabilities and what I'm actually capable of doing.
yeah,
Yeah, I think, like I said, bro, working with my very very close brothers who I grew up with, bro, since
Gold, eh?
nappies.
Yeah,
That's gold, bro. That's gold, and
yeah.
that's something that I've always wanted to do, bro. And the Sons brothers too. They're my brothers as well, but I
Mm.
kind of met them a little bit further on in life, where these are my bro
Yeah.
bros.
Well,
Kindy,
and you get to work them all together, eh? That's
get
that's the goal.
yeah, get to work them all together, bro. And uh, yeah, I'm enjoying diversifying, bro, and trying different things.
Yeah,
Outside of music,
man.
still
With this,
somewhat of music. Yeah,
yeah, these times, eh? It's definitely something we need to learn how to pivot. And like with me, heaps of my jobs getting disappearing or whatever. I'm having to go. Okay, what are other ways that I can support our whānau, and what are the
yeah,
other ways that I can still do the mahi? Overall, the kaupapa for me is uplifting our people. So
mm,
through my photography, it's about showing us as we are and our beauty and our strength and our power, those sorts of things. So if we can also do that through this NFT space, then man, that's gold, eh?
yeah, yeah, bro. Some of the, I guess, not negative, but I guess the other sides of that coin, bro, is um, there's a lot of speculation around this space, bro,
Yeah,
and people
yeah,
who don't understand it and trying to just switch off from that, bro, and just
yeah,
knowing in my heart that what I'm doing is pono and tika. And
yeah.
yep, there might be other projects out there that are rug pulling and doing what they're doing, but I
It's
can't.
not for me. Yeah,
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and if I read too far into when people are pulling down NFTs and that, just protecting myself and making sure that I'm not getting disheartened by what people are saying about the space, and just knowing that in my heart what I'm doing is true, and integral
yeah,
and has
massive.
integrity and honesty. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we got a question from our tuahine Chelsea, who was on one of our earlier kaikōrero. What have you found most challenging in your hiding so far to create and develop your own project? What's the biggest challenge, bro?
Um, yeah, well, bro, it's like anything, and this probably goes without saying. Putia, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
it is the biggest challenge, bro.
Because
Uh,
you got to do all this mahi before you mint, eh? So when you mint, that's when you actually make the sales to pay the
the,
project forward. But
yeah,
before you do that, you still got to pay your developers. You still got
yeah,
to pay your artists. You still got to do all of that stuff, eh?
yeah, bro. Yeah, so we've probably been in this mahi for like 6 or nearly 7 months now,
Yeah,
and no one's made a cent, but the passion's there, bro. You
yeah,
know, and so we're all kind of doing it with the hopes that because we truly in our hearts believe that it's gonna be an awesome project.
yeah. And that leads into this question: how much time? So over those 7 months,
Yeah,
how much attention, how much time has it needed?
has it needed, bro? It's there's not a day that I don't do 14 hours, bro. Yeah, and that's
Mahi
weekend.
up, eh?
Yeah, yeah, bro. As you know, bro, like we've had Wānanga about other things as well, and
Yeah,
uh, I'm always even this to a degree, bro. Like sharing the knowledge about the project, bro,
yeah.
is it's not
It's
mahi, but it's
No,
time.
but it's part of the kaupapa, yeah. And it's time and it's energy. And
Yep.
it's also like this is one of the things for me because NFTs are so new. Like our bro Richie, he was talking to me about it because I said, oh man, I'm pretty koretake in Twitter.
Mm,
And so the whole NFT world is in Twitter. Like
mm,
that's where the majority of people that are buying and selling NFTs, trading NFTs, those sorts of things, they're all there.
mm.
And I don't have any following on Twitter. I don't have, I,
Yeah.
I hardly go on Twitter. I've got a big following over here and Instagram and Facebook, those sorts of things. But over here, I need to onboard our whānau to learn about NFTs. Over there, everyone knows about NFTs. So either way we look at it, there's mahi to do, eh?
There's
Right?
mahi to do, bro.
Over here, you know, you and me were talking about it before. Neither of us really roll Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's where everyone is for NFTs. But over here are our people that already believe in what we do. They're already backing us. And so we're having to pull them in this way, into the NFT world and upskill.
Yeah, bro. Yep, that's it. That's 100% it, bro. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like you, bro. I never use Twitter, bro. But you know, if
Something we've got to do, bro.
bro, you know, if you want to do bobsledding, bro, well, you can't do that in Hawaii, because you got to be where the people are.
Yeah.
You be where the snow is, because if that's where they live, you know, that's where the game is, bro. That's where you go and play. So
yeah, we better upskill, bro. How's this question from our tuakana anonymous, bro? Epic kōrero question. Musically, is APRA an outdated institution versus smart contracts?
I think yes. Or I think that they could merge, bro, would probably be what I'd say.
Yeah.
And that could be done through metadata, if anyone knows what that is. So we could attach metadata to all of our songs, and the life or the DNA of that song could be tracked automatically through smart contract, like the bro's talking about, and then dispersed out to wallets. I know that would be a costly exercise, but in the end, it would be a worthwhile exercise, because
that's a lot of coding, that's a lot of complexity in coding, because it's like, well, where are these songs played, you know, in terms of streaming? So you got like Spotify and things like that, but you know, Spotify only has its royalty. Your song has to be played 10 million times before you can get a payday. Those sorts of things, like how do we, where does your music sit when you release your NFT album? Where does it sit? How do we listen to it? Those sorts of things,
Yeah, bro. So I think APRA is it's awesome in what it's trying to achieve, but I think that smart contracts could definitely assist to make that a more automated process.
So that could be something that APRA looks at. Or they probably already are looking at, how do we move in this space,
Yeah, bro. And it's one of those things where it might cost an arm and a leg today, but at the moment they're probably paying 10 or 20 people to go and manually find all these rules. Or, you know, I don't actually know how it works, but long term it probably is better. But it's just that initial outlay, probably, bro.
Yeah, high investment at the start, but once you've built the waka, then you can go wherever you like with it,
Yeah, bro. That's my thoughts anyway, bro. I don't know if that's right. That's what I reckon.
No, that's cool, bro. Hey, it's all of our whakaro as we were exploring the space. There's no 100% right answer.
Yeah, hopefully that answers our bro's question.
Yeah, sure. And what about what factors do you consider when selecting a coder developer? Like, because you had to go offshore because, you know, we couldn't find the ones here. So, what did you consider in that?
The first thing, bro, was looking at other projects that they've done. Just seeing if they were clunky, jumping in their discords of those projects, seeing how people are operating in there, whether they're happy or not, you know, with how things are flowing. I think another thing too is that when you employ these coders, making sure that you're buying the code and you're going to own it.
Yeah.
Because if the Kazi knows all the back of your stuff, hey bro, your project be rug pulled from you.
Yeah, and then but you'd be the one that's copying it, when they're the ones.
So I think that's another massive consideration too, bro. Just making sure that if you're going to contract someone, that you're going to own the code. Because some people, bro, including that place that I went and saw in Brisbane, what they were actually offering us is that they retain the ownership of the code, and we get a
license.
License. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm not paying you, and you hell no. You know? So bro, I'd say that's a big consideration. Just making sure that it's yours and only yours. Yeah.
Choice, bro. And kind of like as we wrap up our kōrero, what are some of the things that, you know, going through the experience that you have so far, and you know, we haven't even come to mint day yet. You know, that's exciting, and that's ahead of us. But like, what are some things that you reckon would be good for if any of our whānau or our mates are gonna do projects like this? what are some things, some like key gems that would be good for them to think about kind of before they sort of go down that track, or when they begin that track?
Yeah, definitely be ready to put some time aside for it.
Yeah.
In whatever capacity you thinks matches what you're trying to do. You might only do a run of 100 things, which you might only need to do 3 hours after Mahi, and that's cool. So just matching the time with what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
I think spending time in Discord, bro, is a huge thing. I've learned most of what I've learned in Discord, bro, from other communities.
Yeah.
And kind of
what's Discord for anyone that hasn't played with Discord yet?
Yeah, Discord, I guess, is the home of most projects, bro, for the NFT space. It's basically just a place where you can hang out and interact through video, through messaging. It's a place where the project developers can put out key announcements around what's happening for the community and that kind of thing. So it's a hub, bro. It's a HQ. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just put the
Basically
link
like for the project kind of thing.
Yeah, I just put the link for the Eager Beavers into the chat.
Sure.
And also for the Te Moananui Crypto Navigators.
Yo.
I'll chuck that in underneath so you fellas can come and join us, join the conversations. Any last words, bro? Any last whakaaro that you want to give out to the whānau?
Yep. Oh, bro, just firstly to anyone who's on here from our Eager Beaver community who's tuned in. Me and Naz, like, I'm really loving our space, and I'm really loving what we've built there and how everyone's interacting and conducting themselves in that space with heaps of love and positivity. To you, my bro, Te Rāwhitiroa, thank you, bro, for having me on here. I appreciate the opportunity, bro, to yarn with you and share my experiences. And just for our whānau out there, I'd encourage everyone to come into this space with an open mind and an open heart. Because I for myself, bro, I truly believe it's not going away. If anything, we're going to be forced to be there. So the faster we can be there, like what we're talking about, bro, there's times we let information fly over the old head.
Yeah, looking
now
back going,
anyway, bro. You know?
Yeah.
So I'd encourage our whānau to, you don't even have to mint or buy anything, but just
go and have a listen.
Go have a listen. Yep, go get some knowledge with open heart and open mind. Yeah, guys.
Yeah, and those things that people say, do your own research. Don't just jump on something because someone else said. Even someone like Riapo or someone like me, still do your research. Still look. Can I see who the team is behind this? Can I look at their roadmap and does it make sense? Like Riapo was saying, these are all things that we can do, and we will do. But if someone's promising to send you over to Mars, to the little colony, then maybe that's not a good use of your hard-earned putua. And the other thing is only invest what you can afford to lose. Don't invest anything. Don't take any loans out to go into these kaupapa. Don't invest anything that say if you lost it, you can't eat next week, or you can't pay rent next week. Those aren't good investments. If you've saved enough that you can do it, and if you lost it, then it's an expensive but good lesson. And you can learn from it, then that's cool. But it's we really want our whānau to be safe in this space, to not get rug pulled. So you really need to look into things. Don't just jump in blindly because someone said it was cool. Hey.
Yeah, bro. And what was I gonna say? In terms of our whānau's putia, I was gonna say something. Sorry, cuz it slipped my mind.
Yeah, it's just for us to be mindful of that sort of thing because it is a volatile space. Yeah, Bob?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, bro. Just remembering for our whānau out there that it's an exciting space and it's a cool space and it's a fun space. But like you said, bro, still remembering that we live on Earth, bro.
Yeah.
With real bills, with real electricity,
real hunger
that comes through our taps. Hey, we got real cars that need filling up, and we've got real kids that need to be fed and looked after. So I just think, that balance, bro, because it can be exciting, bro. And you don't want to be FOMOing in out of excitement, bro, and spending next week's kai money.
Yeah. Because there is a possibility you could make a whole lot of kai money for a whole lot of years to come if you pick the right kaupapa. But I guess all we're saying, bro, is just to be mindful and to really think about that,
Yeah. Yes, bro. 100%.
Yeah. And I just want to mihi to this whakaaro, a digital series on NFT journey by Māori is a must. Yeah. Hey, we could, if anyone wants to fund these podcasts, we keep yarning.
Yeah, they're valuable, brother.
Yeah, Choice, my bro. Well, mihi nui ana ki a koe mau I whakawate I a koe. Ki te wānanga tahi, ki te hora I o whakaro, bro. Me te mihi nui ki a koutou e ngā kai mā takitaki. I really appreciate your time, bro, and your openness to share, you know, the behind the scenes of what it takes to actually put on a kaupapa. People may be looking at it thinking, oh yeah, I could do that easy as whatever. You know, there's nothing kauparawa. Yeah, they might be pleasantly surprised or unpleasantly surprised if they try to do that. So appreciate you taking the time out, brother. And stoked as for you heading over to see your tamahine, bro. That'll be good times. Like you said, real world, eh? Like we can spend our time in this space, but we really do need to remember real world. You know, we need to go and see our kaumātua and our kuia, spend time with the kids, all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, respect, bro.
Nah,
and I'm looking forward to drop date, bro.
Yeah, bro. Me too, brother. Nah, honestly, cuz I just want to say thank you for your time, bro. I really appreciate it, bro. And I appreciate our friendship, bro. And you know, all our interactions are always good ones, bro. Whether it be in Tahiti, whether it be in Hamilton, and I've seen you there, bro, or wherever I run into you, bro. So much love, brother. I appreciate you heaps, my bro.
Sweet, bro, and we'll see you for our next year.